Hey there, welcome to Metal Sharpens Metal. My name is Daniel. Today we've got the song Plus, Ylva Plus.
What did he say?
Well, you probably saw it in the title. I don't know exactly how to say that. Ylva, probably Ylva, I don't know, something like that. By the band Vildhjarta, something like that.
I play drums in Vildhjarta.
They are Swedish, so those are different words than I'm used to. So yeah, very interesting music. Excited for you guys to hear today, and let's jump in. All right. Okay. And that scary circus music. But they keep trying to trick us. On the left there we've got the Swedish lyrics, which is what he's actually singing. Whoa. Feels like those notes are gonna just blow out the low end of your speakers. It feels like this art's gonna blow out your corneas. What? Just smile and wave, boys. It somehow gets heavier. are we, huh? Yeah, we're fine. Everything's fine. Thank you for asking, though. I appreciate that. So I looked up some of the laws, and I'm pretty sure you can't sue me for any audible brain damage, anything like that. So, yeah, please don't sue me.
I shouldn't say that jokingly because she will sue me. She loves to sue.
That was probably one of the crazier songs that we'll have on the channel. The most out there. That is peak modern metal. But I think in that crazy blob of sound, it's possible to actually pick out little things that are really interesting, that stand out. And I know that sometimes it sounds like totally random, but it's not, because they all play it together cohesively when they play live. The musicians have to understand how to play together and what parts are coming next, so there's a lot of attention to detail. It's like jazz, but super heavy.
Why don't you explain this to me like I'm 5?
Okay, so now for some story time. Vildhjarta is a bonkers band that's been writing music like this for over a decade. The name in Swedish means wild heart, which I actually think is pretty sick. On my shirt, you can see that I have this word thall, which is a word that they coined and made up. People have been scouring the internet trying to figure out what it means for years, but it basically means this exact genre of music you just heard, which is amazing ambient reverb guitars over crushing heavy guitars that throw you directly into the pit of heck, and drums that distort your orientation and understanding of reality and time itself.
That's so much stuff. You just kept on going.
So the drummer in this band is named Buster Oldholm, and he gets a special shout out because he's been secretly mixing and recording many contemporary metal bands. If you've been listening to anything recently, you might have heard something that he's worked on, and he makes it sound amazing. He has an amazing mix of instruments and vocals, and everything fits perfectly. He can also play these weird drums somehow, and he can play many or all of the riffs on guitar. Little unique thing about him too is that he takes a right-handed guitar and flips it 180 degrees over so he can play it left-handed, upside down. Now I know what you're thinking. A lefty playing right-handed guitar. Of course that's why this music sounds the way it does. But no, I'm willing to bet if you give it a try, it'll just sound really, really bad. Yeah, Buster is just built different. Their vocalist is named Wilhelm Bladen, and as you heard, he can employ both singing and screaming, which I'm a big fan of. The band has some older songs that are in English, but recently they've been all in Swedish. And so I used Google Translate for this. Sorry if it was a little bit inaccurate. So they've done a concept album in the past called Mastaden. I probably am saying that wrong. It's kind of like a fable where these animals are living in a seaside port town, and it's about their story and their character arcs. There are entire Reddit pages dedicated to understanding the characters, the musical motifs, and the overall story arc of these albums. So there have been a lot of electrons spilled and sacrificed surrounding the mystery of this band. I'm sure I'm going to get some things wrong. I'm sure that those people are going to be like, no, if they ever see this. But there's a lot going on here. And the only people who really know exactly what's going on is the band themselves. I'm pretty convinced of that. But because they are so conceptually based and things like that, and because this song and one that they released a few weeks or months ago both have a similar artwork style, I'm going to guess that they're going to be part of an EP or full-length album together, and that they are part of an overall concept together. So I'm making that assumption and drawing a little bit of meaning from that as well. The first song that I just mentioned, the title of that one is translated to The Spanish Feeling. And they have a line in there that says memories like smoke. And I saw somewhere that it was written about dementia. So I think that makes sense, that they were writing from the point of view of like kind of going through dementia and not knowing what's real. So it seems to check out. And you might feel like you have some dementia after listening to this song. I totally get it. But I can assure no long use studies done have shown effect at that. So we're good.
And if there's one thing I know is my fantastic, it's talk.
The title of today's song, Ylva, means she-wolf, according to Google again. And because I don't see an obvious connection between the last song's title and its lyrics, Spanish Feeling and dementia, I don't necessarily know if there's a connection between she-wolf and the meaning of these lyrics. So we're just going to kind of set she-wolf aside for now. Kind of a cool word. So let's look at a few phrases and see if we can figure some things out. I'm seeing things like dream and reality, long hours of the night, darkness, feverish state, slow stream, lulled to restless sleep. So I'm getting the sense of sleeping, nighttime, dreams, things like that. But it's not like necessarily a good sleep, right? Or good dreams. So if these two songs are kind of going with a theme of mental issues, I wonder if this one's about insomnia or just general sleep disorder issues. I'm not sure. But looking at the frustration as well with feverish state and pain is your friend and stuff, it almost reminds me of that Lorna Shore song that we did, where the main character was retreating to his dream world to try to escape reality, and he could control the dream world. I kind of get the sense of control here. Restless dreams about an undemanding utopia free from everything. It says here, only subject to one's own will. In the Lorna Shore song, he was creating his dream world. He was dissatisfied with it in the end. And so there was a lot of pain involved. And that song was called Pain Remain. Oh my gosh. Okay, there might be something there. That is really interesting. Do they know Lorna Shore? I gotta look into this. Okay, no. I told you, it's easy to kind of go down the conspiracy route and dive into these Reddit threads of like, what's the meaning? What's all going on here? I don't know. Is there a reference to Pain Remains here? That would be super cool.
Wouldn't that be hilarious?
That'd be super cool. I will leave that one to Reddit. They will do the work for us, I'm sure. So we see these lyrics that seem to be pointing beyond their obvious meaning, but it's really hard to tell exactly what they mean. Maybe I'm totally off in the weeds here. I don't know. You guys can let me know what you think. And talking more about sleep from a biblical Christian perspective, it's interesting because it's super amazing how God made sleep to be such a restorative healing time. It's one of the first things psychologists ask when they're meeting a new patient is, how is your sleep going? Sleep and diet. It's a widely agreed upon concept in the world of powerlifting, bodybuilding, strength sports. If you're not doing the sleep part of your life right, you will not be seeing the muscle growth and the strength gains that you want to see. Not getting enough sleep or having nightmares can totally affect your outlook on life. So kids, the message from this song is eat your veggies, get your sleep, and hopefully the she-wolf doesn't come eat you, I guess. The music itself, I think, is super interesting, super cool. They distort the view of time, like the perception of the pulse of the song, like that is played with, thrown out. They do a really cool job throwing you for a loop. So that makes the music sound intentionally disorienting and even evil at times. Some of those riffs sounded really just scary, like they were trying to be like a haunted Halloween carnival or something. So does the nature of the music and the instrumentation change the overall moral value of a song? I think that deserves some discussion. I'm not going to dive into the whole thing now, but the short answer is no. I think that a song has a worldview that it's trying to present. The artists are trying to present a worldview when they make music sound really disgusting or really beautiful, but I think the main point of a song, the main worldview, is going to come through the lyrics. And the artist will mean one thing, they will have one heart state as they convey this song, but the people on the receiving end also have a different heart state, and that is going to play into the calculation of how the morality of a song is evaluated, in my opinion. I'm not saying it's subjective, I'm not saying it's all up to the individual listener, but a song that could be otherwise totally benign could become sin for somebody if they idolize something within the lyrics that is good in and of itself, but when taken to an extreme or excess is not good. It becomes idolatry. Or there's things where a song is trying to be really dark, but they end up writing something kind of beautiful and redemptive almost by accident. When Jesus was dying on the cross, the devil thought he had won. The devil thought that was a great death blow to kill the Messiah, the Son of God himself.
Satan is a master of lies. Everything he says is the opposite.
As we know, that is God's master plan that overthrew the devil and his power and his kingdom. It's interesting when somebody interprets something as like, this is good because Jesus is dying. And it's like, well, it's good because it allows sinners to be saved by his sacrifice. Or you say, this is bad, Jesus is dying. Well, yeah, it's bad because they killed the only innocent man that's ever existed. So obviously bad as well. So yeah, it's an interesting discussion to think about the evil sound of a riff, kind of getting into somebody's thought process behind beauty and art and what that looks like. And I guess what I'm trying to also get across is that evil worldviews are in every genre, and it is not unique to metal. Ultimately, the worldview will not stand very long if it's not grounded in the ultimate source of morality. Thanks for joining me on that one. I think you'll agree that that is one of the more unique bands that we have featured here, probably will ever feature. I don't know if it gets much weirder than that. I know, you got something weird and disturbing and the cinema of the unsettling that I need to know about, but no, I don't care. I like this song. I actually like how it sounds, even though it is very odd. But yeah, I think you'll agree that thall music is objectively bonkers. Anyway, I hope the lyrical discussion was also edifying, and we will see you next time. Bye. Vildhjarta.